So we're on Atlantic, and opposition has 4 destroyers, 3 cruisers, 2 of whom are radar, and 5 battleships. We're on the map Atlantic, and we are in standard battle, which means we're coming in on the lower southeast corner. Now, the Yeuyang is a Pan-Asian Tier 10 destroyer. Its torpedoes can't hurt other destroyers. And I play my tactics for a standard battle a lot different than I do for a domination mode game. So A, we need to protect our base. B, we need to kill off enemy ships. And C, if we can, go ahead and take their base. Losing our base, just like if we were to take theirs, would end the game in under 3 minutes. So I don't have RDF on this ship. Right now she doesn't have a 19-point skipper. Actually, that's the only option I want to add to this, because I could see where the nearest enemy boat is. So I'm going to carefully be scouting out and seeing where the opposition ships are. When we started the game, I noted how many radar boats there were, and I'm going to keep an eye on those. I want to stay at least 10 clicks away from the Des Moines and 12, or the Baltimore rather. It's a U.S. cruiser, and he is equipped with radar. The Donskoy, Dmitry Donskoy, is a Russian cruiser, and he's got almost 12 clicks of radar. And depending upon whether or not they have the super radar module, I could look at anywhere from 20 to 53 seconds of radar out of those ships. And with their guns and that close, I'd be toast. My torpedoes on this boat go 13.5 clicks, and they're stealthy. So we're starting to see the enemy ships. We got a battleship, and there's one of the destroyers. That I already know happens to be the Yeuyang, because this is obviously a replay that I'm recording. And the Neptune and the Shimakaze are engaging it already. And there is a shimmy, so I know where 3 of their destroyers are. So I know how to sort of space out from them. And their battleships, we can spot 3 of them now on the mini-map in and near their cap. And it looks like they've also got folks on the far side along the B8 area. So they're coming in sort of a broad approach, and I'm going to move back and see if I can't put some interdiction torpedoes up there and stay out of their way, and also stay out of the way of that aircraft that's trying to spot me if I can. Stealth is a big part of my advantage. So basically, at this point in the game, I'm screening to make sure they don't slip somebody in, even though we've got pretty good defense here. Our team is working well that way. A lot of mistakes some folks make is, oh, let's all go out there in one direction or in 2 wings and we'll rush their cap. And they get 1 destroyer in and you have nobody that can get back, and you lose before you can get out there. So I'm going to try putting some fish out on maybe the Bismarck. And I've got the other couple of ships that are coming in from those rocks. And they're cruisers, so I'm going to assume that the Baltimore or the Donskoy is a part of that group. And here's the utilize. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm close enough. I'm going to be detected, but I'm going to engage in a gunfight. Get some hits here. And his torpedoes can hurt me, so I got to be careful. And there's the Musashi behind the rocks over there. So time to start maybe putting some fish out and see what I can do. I'll line up. and there's rocks in there, so I want to make sure I've got a clean shot, and also trying to avoid those enemy torpedoes. So they've got folks on either side of these rocks using them somewhat as cover, but if they're going to come in and push, they're going to have to do that. As you can see from the mini-map, that Bismarck is in a good position to do it, but and there's the Donskoy, so I'm going to be very careful because I'm actually on the edge of radar range for both those ships, and I'm using my indicator to see just how stable the track is on that battleship, and it looks like he's not moving a lot back and forth. I am spotted, which means probably I've got a destroyer stealthier than me, which in all likelihoods means a Shimakaze, because that's the only one they've got left, I believe. Let's see. Yep, that's what it is. And those fish are looking pretty good. When I launched them, I'd also noticed the other battleship was behind, so there was a chance that he might have turned into them. And those fish go a long way. And there's the shimmy. Somebody else was close enough to spot him. And there we go. There's 3 hits for 44,000, and I put some flags out to improve flooding, and it looks like he is flooding, so I just might go ahead and still get that kill, and those fish are still going out, and actually it looks like I might get a hit on the ship behind him. Yep. There we go. The North Carolina took 1 too, and we're still getting flooding, so that's a real plus. When I'm after the after-action report at the end of the battle, I'll go ahead and attach my current build for this ship, if you're interested. Trying to stay out of the way of this air. My guns are, my anti-aircraft and secondaries are off. There's almost never a reason, unless you're detected, to have those on, because it just makes you more visible. And the Musashi is still flooding. I might just pull this off. He's down pretty low. And I have fish again, so I'm out there looking for a target. Now, if you look on the mini-map, I show last, and there he is actually. We've got the Bismarck back again. He's not that far away, and he may be coming out. So I'd like to torp him, and at the very least, keep him from coming in, because also if you look on the mini-map, we have other ships out there, and it looks like they may be getting ready to make a push, because they are losing at this point, so it wouldn't be inconceivable that they would go ahead and make a push. Nice thing about the Pan-Asians, I've got that Shimakaze on our friendly team there. I don't have to worry about my torpedoes hitting him. And there's Bismarck. He is edging forward. I'm going to see if he keeps that motion. Those shimmy fish may drop him, but or scare him back. But I will probably add mine behind it. I am radared. That's probably the Baltimore or the Donskoy close enough. So since I'm detected, I might as well open up, and I'm going to see if I can't also throw some more fish that might catch him. Maybe should have waited a little bit longer, because he may turn in a lot, but looks like he just either got hit hard by a shell or took a torpedo. But the shimmy's dead. The radar has run out. And if that was a flood or a torpedo he's got, he's burned his repair party. So if I can set him on fire, it might kill him. That cruiser behind me at 7 that I just noticed is more than worrisome, because while I'm shooting on this Bismarck, I'm detectable. And I want to get rid of that Bismarck as quick as possible, because he's in close enough to possibly ram one of our battleships. And this game is not that far apart at the moment. So the Baltimore's still in his radar range and has me detected, but I think that was him that was running the radar before. They've got 3 cruisers left, and all but the Hipper have radar. I'm outside in Baltimore's range, and he really can't shoot at me anyway because he's behind that rock. So I'm going to reposition and see if I can get where my torpedoes will be effective. Got 97,000 in damage. Somebody else did manage to finish off that battleship. And I've just let my teammates know that Shima's got to be up around those rocks somewhere. He's not dead. And actually, there he is. He just smoked up. Probably because the Kiev was probably close enough to detect him. And he probably has fish again. Hitting my boost, I'm going to try to reposition, get where I can help gun him, and maybe get up against those rocks and get fish out on those ships that are hiding up there. And I'm not as concerned about drawing fire if I give my position up with this many other ships, although I'm still going to be a primary target because there aren't that many destroyers left. And I can't shoot because the A behind rocks and B, the torpedoes is in the way. But I'm going to try to reposition because they're coming down. And if that torpedoes gets killed, or I can get an angle where I won't hit him, because I certainly don't want to take out one of our battleships. And here they come. I'm just get my guns up and see if I can gun that shimmy, and watch out for his fish. And get ready to put fish on the Richelieu. Okay, shimmy's down, and dug his fish. I was expecting those. And I also almost could have walked into my friendly fish if I wasn't careful. I have to watch out for that corpse, but hoping it sinks quick enough. I have to do it. There's my solution. And then they may end up getting eaten by that corpse. I smoke up and start gunning him down. Yeah, it didn't sink quick enough, and he's turning. In retrospect, I probably should have saved one bank, but I really didn't think he'd do a 180. It's actually not a bad move on his part, given that he's on a suicide run anyway. But it did avoid all kinds of fish, because he had 2 sets coming at him. And I'm backing up so that I'm out of the immediate detection range of my guns through the smoke. And I'm detected now, but he's almost gone. But I'm going to get a proximity detection probably anyway. And here comes the Donskoy. Fortunately, his guns aren't pointed where he can get me real easy, but his secondaries can, and he may give a shot off at me yet. I switched over to AP, trying to get into that area right between his torpedo belt and supers, and there's a Confederate. And they've only got 2 ships left. Looks like we're going to win. Hopefully I can survive. And I'm getting some decent damage off these shells, even if I'm not getting citadels. And game's over before my fish came up, and that was a good game. So here are our battle results, and we had 209 gun hits, 4 torpedo hits, 4 floods, 1 kill. We just missed the one on the one battleship that was flooding out. And we got a Confederate. If you're not familiar with that award, that means you have to damage at least 6 enemy ships, and each of ship must be damaged by you to exceed 20% of her normal health points. So let's look at what we got. We got a top score place with 1595 in ship XP. That's raw XP. Now let's look at how it broke down. We gunned the shimmy, and we did a fair bit of torpedo damage to big ships. And as you can see in the breakdown, we had a total damage of 133,896. Of that, only 44,006 was with the main battery. And I shifted over to armor-piercing shells when I had the Donskoy broadside, hoping that would go ahead and pierce that armor a little bit since he was full broadside. The torpedoes did 52,000, so not quite half the damage. And the next biggest category in and of itself was actually the flooding. And I had run a flag to help with the flooding. We'll look at that when we get to the back end. So we did the Shimmy, the North Carolina, the Musashi, the Donskoy, the Richelieu. Those were our major damage points, all above 10,000. And in 3 cases above 40,000. Actually, we came better than halfway to getting a wither from the flooding. Bismarck and the Utiloi, and we took 13,007 in damage, even though we were exposed a fair bit. The quicker smokes on the Pan-Asians helped there. We took home, I used all premium consumables, and we got some benefit out of the Hello Summer mission, which we finished. After taking off for the consumables, I don't have the premium paint on this boat. We made 127,000 in silver, 8,055 in ship XP, 2,015 in free XP. Now, part of that is because I had some modifiers on here. The Hello Summer added to it, the clan bonus adds slightly, the daily win bonus, and the Victory Salute camo that I was using. Down to our Commander XP, 14,645, and this shows how first victory of the day can help. So does the Hello Summer and the Victory Salute camo. So all in all, a very rewarding game. It was fun to see that Confederate pop up at the end. Thanks very much for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Take care and have fun out there. And so here we have the Pan-Asian destroyer Yeuyang. She was transferred from the American Navy to the Republic of China, Taiwan. She's a Sumner-class destroyer, which is similar to the Yeuyang, both in the way she looks and the way you play her in the game. The main differences are she has deep water torpedoes, so she can't hit other destroyers with her torpedoes. She has the same kind of mounts and distance as the Yeuyang. The way I have them configured, they will go 13.2 clicks, and they will move pretty fast. She also has the 127 millimeter cannons in dual mounts, 2 in the front and another aft, along with her 2 5-fish torpedo mounts. And her HE is pretty good destroyer deterrent, which is a good thing because, of course, you can't use your regular torpedoes, or you can't use torpedoes at all on other destroyers. I always go ahead and load the premium consumables. I don't have the premium paint. Eventually, I will add it. I budget these slowly, and I'm using fancy camos that I get to up things like free XP and Commander XP. For upgrades, I've gone ahead and gone with Main Armaments Mod 1, and that improves the chance that both torpedoes and guns will last through the game. Propulsion Modification 1, you don't want to be without power in this boat. The damage control would be another good option there. Main battery 1. The smoke generator, I've got the option for that, and if you have it, you may or may not consider. Thing is that it will make the action time longer. It reduces the smoke dispersion. If you're the kind of person that really sits in your smoke a lot, you might want to consider that compared to the main battery. In fact, I'm considering it. Um, it the aiming systems does go ahead and help the torpedoes move a bit faster. There's no benefit to secondary battery in this. Propulsion, again here, I do tend to sit and smoke some and fire with this thing, and you want to be able to get moving again. The gear shift is already pretty good. If you don't tend to sit and smoke, then damage control might be something you want to look at. There really is no other option for the position in number 5 other than concealment system. You want that concealment. And torpedo tube modification 3 is obviously the real choice here because you're thinking fish. The rate on the battery reload is already very good at 2.7 seconds, so cutting that off by 10% is not going to really add anything. Let's look at our skipper. I only have a 16-point captain, and I'm only using 15 of those. I started out with preventive maintenance. You don't want to lose your torpedo tubes. Anything that will reduce that is a lot better. Even with this, sometimes I'll get a torpedo tube knocked out, and there goes a whole rack of fish that you can't use, and you really don't have the ability to put spreads out the way you'd like. Last stand is always a second choice on a destroyer. If you're sitting there still or can't steer, you're dead meat. Adrenaline rush, you can come back and get that sort of towards the end. You want to get into your third point choices. Basic firing training, I took that after I took survivability expert. That extra at 10, that's 3,500 extra HP. That's a big deal. Some people will take superintendent, but you already get an awful lot of smokes and boosts, especially if you use premium consumables. So I went ahead and opted to get a reduction in reload time. Actually, my time on that when I was quoting that before. But that extra reload, this is a gunboat underneath everything else, and concealment expert here, which is what gets this thing down to its really neat concealment. 5.8. My last one is going to be radio location. That way I can watch for enemy destroyers, especially in standard battle or in ranked battle, and choose when I engage them. Anyway, that's my build for the Yeuyang. It's a very interesting boat. It's a lot of fun to play, as is the gearing. And the deep water torpedo makes this an excellent battleship hunter. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you like it, subscribe, leave comments, and we'll see you out there.